about to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.
Back to my channel. So I have got another week of meal ideas for you. I do realise that this video may not be particularly relevant at the moment because a lot of us are struggling, myself included, to get the ingredients for these things, but I do film my videos 2 weeks in advance so that I've always got content to sort of roll over and put out. So this was pre-panic buy, should we call it, when everything was available in the shops. So I've got this week's meals and then I've got another week like this, and then it will go into sort of the rationed kind of meals and whatever we're all making with what we can get. So I also want to thank everyone for their comments on yesterday's video. I reached out and said that I hope that if anyone's lonely or wanted a chat or anything, then, you know, make sure to leave a comment. So I've had over 400 comments, and I've also had some emails and DMs on Instagram. So I'm really happy that you have all reached out and that we're all able to talk to each other and support each other through this crazy time. So we're going to have a look at what we've eaten as a family of 5 over the course of the last week or so. If you do like this kind of video and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. I have got some more slow cooker videos coming up. I've also got some packed lunch ideas. I'm still going to be filming my shopping hauls and meals of the week, and I'm going to be filming the meals that I managed to make with the ingredients I managed to get. So if you like that kind of thing, then please make sure to stick around and let's have a look at some nice normal food. So for tonight's dinner, I'm going to be making a bacon and pea risotto. This is a really simple one, and you can add everything at once. You don't have to add the stock slowly. It works just as well if you put it all in together. So I've got 2 chicken stock cubes that I'm going to make up into chicken stock, 100 grams of frozen peas, some parmesan. I'm going to use about 8 rashers of bacon, or like bacon medallions. I've got some arborio rice, 1 chopped onion and 2 chopped garlic cloves. I'm also going to use a knob of butter and some salt and pepper, and that is it. So I'll show you it as I go along. So I'm going to start off adding my knob of butter into the pan. Once that's heated up, I'm going to add my onions and garlic. I'm going to add in 8 chopped bacon medallions. So I'm just going to let that cook together until the bacon starts to brown a little bit. Next up, I added 300 grams of arborio rice. This recipe serves 4 people or 4 decent adult sized portions. So I added the rice, stirred it round so that it covered each grain, and then seasoned it with some salt and pepper. You probably want around half a teaspoon of each. Next, I made a litre of stock using the 2 chicken stock pots, and I just poured this over the rice all at once. I know with some risottos you just add the water little bit by little bit, but this one you can just put it all in at once and it's really easy. So you bring that to the boil and then let it simmer for about 10 minutes. You'll notice it start to go a little bit thicker. This is when I'm going to add 100 grams of frozen peas and 50 grams of grated parmesan. So you're going to let this simmer for another 5 to 10 minutes or until all your water has evaporated and you're left with a really creamy consistency. When I served it up, I just grated a little bit more parmesan on top and added a tiny sprinkling of dried thyme, and then we just served it with some crusty warm bread and butter, and it went down really well, and it's so quick and easy to make. So on this day we had a roast dinner, so I made some sausage meat stuffing balls along with some roast gammon. We had roast carrot, roast parsnips, roast potatoes, and we also had some red cabbage as well, and of course some gravy. So to make my stuffing balls, I just use some sausage meat that I just de-skim the sausages myself and then mix it with a pack of sage and onion stuffing, roll it into balls and pop it in the oven. I did a roast gammon joint in the oven, just wrapped it in foil. This joint was about £4.50 and it was really big. We had loads of leftovers and we had sandwiches and things with it for the next few days, which is always good when you have a roast dinner. So here we are plated up with our gammon, carrots, parsnips, sausage meat, roast potatoes and red cabbage, and I had leftovers of some of the veg, so I continued the next day and made a soup out of it. We always do that and I always call it roast dinner soup. The best one you can make is after Christmas dinner because it has all the turkey and things in, but this was really good. So I am just making what I call roast dinner stew. The steam should disappear in a minute. Basically we had a roast dinner yesterday and let me take it off the heat a minute. All you can see is steam. So yesterday we had a roast dinner, and what I do is anything that I don't dish up, I always pop it into a saucepan. Like there's some leftover roast potatoes, there's carrots, there's lots and lots of red cabbage. We went a bit overkill on that. There's a couple of sausage meat stuffing balls in here. And what else did I put in? There was the rest of the gravy that we didn't use. So anything and some roast parsnips. So anything we didn't use, I popped in the pan. What I've done now is I've just chopped up 4 mini onions out the cupboard, found a couple more carrots in the fridge, and I've put about 4 stock cubes and a few pints of water in this pan. I'm just letting it all boil up. What I'm going to do is, because it's red cabbage, normally I'd leave it like chunky. Are we all steamed up still? So normally I would leave it chunky, but because it's red cabbage and it's actually really hard to eat as a soup, I think I'd get that all down me. So I'm going to use my stick blender, blitz it up, and then let it cool down and put it in the freezer. This isn't for tonight, I just didn't want to throw all the ingredients away because I hate waste and I absolutely love roast dinner stew. So I'll put it in the freezer and then just get it out and defrost it one night, and we'll have that with some like cheese on toast or some nice like fresh crusty bread or something, and it's just really comforting and warming, and yeah, just a good way to use up all your leftovers. So I'm just making a halloumi bake for dinner. I've used this seasoning. I've actually cut the top off. Where is it? So it's sweet chili halloumi Maggi bag seasoning. Basically it's one of those where you get the bag in it and you just add your vegetables and cook it in the oven. I've decided not to do it in the bag just to give it a little bit more crispy sort of flavour. So I've got red pepper, green pepper, red onion and some cherry tomatoes, and then some halloumi, and I've just chopped it all up, put it in an oven tray, put a little bit of olive oil and mixed it all together, and we're going to pop this in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes and serve it with some savoury rice that I bought. So we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. So here it is out of the oven. I'm just about to dish it up and it's all gone kind of sticky and crispy and it looks really good. I'm just going to serve it with some rice that is almost done. Right, so here we are dished up. So we've got red peppers, green peppers, red onion and some cherry tomatoes, more baby plum tomatoes, and some halloumi and some rice. It is this one. I saved the thingy. It's actually just a packet of Jamaican inspired rice and peas. I have got a recipe that I'm going to put up on this channel of like my own version of this, but I thought this was really quick and simple. It only took a few minutes in the microwave and it smells really, really good. So this is what we've got for our dinner tonight. Halloumi bake and rice and peas. So the next night I made Chinese salt and pepper chili chicken. This is the seasoning I bought in my Home Bargains haul. A lot of you have said that you've also got that seasoning and haven't used it or would like to know what to do with it. So I wasn't sure either. So what I decided to do was crack some eggs into one bowl, and then I put some flour in another bowl and I mixed some of the seasoning in with it, and then I just dipped chicken into the egg, then into the flour mixture and kind of coated it. And then I put the chicken in the air fryer and just fried it on the chicken setting. I think it was probably about 20 minutes. And to go with this, I also made a sort of chow mein kind of thing. It really was a make it up as you go along. So to make my noodles that went with the chicken, I just fried some red pepper, some spring onion and some normal onion in a pan. I also threw in about a clove of garlic. So while that was all softening in the frying pan, I put my air fryer on and just put some spray oil in it, and then I put the chicken in there to cook. I also put on a pan of water and cooked some of the egg noodles that you can get. So when my noodles were cooked, I added them to my vegetables, and then I added some soy sauce, some lemongrass seasoning and some ginger powder as well. I'm definitely a bit of a throw it all together cook, so I tasted it and decided it needed something else. So I had some of this nut butter in the fridge and I decided to add a big tablespoon of that, and it actually gave it a really good flavour. I also added some Korean barbecue sauce as well, so we've got soy sauce, peanut butter and Korean barbecue sauce. It came out really well, but it is one of those recipes that I'll probably never know how to make again because I won't get the ingredients exactly as I put them in, but it was really good and Steve was impressed. So after 25 minutes my chicken was cooked and it looked really impressive when it came out. I just put some noodles in a bowl and put the chicken on top. I would definitely make this again with the flour and the coating the way I did it, although I would probably use a little bit less flour because it was quite thick and chunky around the chicken, but the flavour of that seasoning is really good, so I'd definitely buy that again as well. Of large pizzas for tonight's dinner because it is a clubs night and we are busy and off back out again. So we've got one, I think it's smoky chicken and bacon that's Hobbs with his bone in the background, and one pepperoni, and I'm just going to cut up some grapes and apple and pear and things to go with it. So nice, easy, lazy. For tonight's dinner I've done some Hunter's chicken and rice. So I've just put a chicken breast in the oven, topped it with bacon and some barbecue sauce, and then added some grated cheese and just served it over some plain boiled rice. So this is what we've got for our dinner tonight. So for dinner tonight we have got the Jamaican jerk reggae wrap kits. They're the Levi Roots ones. I got them in my home bargain tool and they were £1 each. So I've just done some chicken thigh in the seasoning, and then I've laid the salsa on the wraps, and then we've got lettuce and cucumber and red onion. I've got some rice, which is the Twisted Flavour Company. This is the Mexican inspired smoked paprika and lime. And then we just got a little bit of salad with the leftover chicken on the top. This is Steve's one, but we've all got the same tonight, and this is what we're having, and it looks really good and it smells really nice. So it's Friday night and the boys are having scampi and cod bites with rooster fries that I've just done in the oven, and this got barbecue sauce, and this one's having ketchup, and so is this one. This is Oscar's. I don't know what I'm calling them this one. So we've got Oscar's, Jake's and Bailey's, and then Steve and I are having something a bit later with a movie. So that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more content like this, then please leave a thumbs up. If you can hear a really strange noise in the background, comment down below if you know what it is. A lot of you who watch regularly probably will. No, Siren is snoring her head off in the background. Can you hear her snoring? She sounds like a little pig. Anyway, I hope everyone is staying as safe as possible, and the offer is still open to anyone who needs a chat. I'm always here, and I will be back very soon in our next video.
This is what we waited for.